Please have a seat. Pleasure and honor to be with all of you. And if I could just understand and know which states of India are represented. So, what state are you from?
Uttar Pradesh.
Uttar Pradesh. How many from Uttar Pradesh? Okay, please have a seat.
New Delhi.
How many from Delhi? The one and only. Congratulations. Okay, and
Manipur.
Manipur. Who else is there from Manipur? Okay.
Bihar.
From Bihar. We have a few from Bihar.
Maharashtra.
How many from Maharashtra? Okay, other states? From Arunachal Pradesh? Okay, from Madhya Pradesh? West Bengal? Jharkhand? Karnataka. Are you the only one? Two, okay. Any other states? Okay, well, that's wonderful. And anyway, pleasure to be with you. And you know your previous batch, you saw the poster outside. They've done quite well. Are you going to do well?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to do better than them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why don't we get started? So if you have a question, raise your hand, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
What I want to ask is, where did you get such a fantabulous idea to establish Dakshana Foundation, and that too in correspondence with Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti?
Okay, so have a seat. Well, that's a great question. So the question requires some background, so I can get to answering what you're asking. So I'll first kind of go through some background on kind of where I'm coming from and why there is a Dakshana and why you are here and so on and so forth. I heard about a person called Warren Buffett in 1994. I was 30 years old, and I was an engineer, like many of you will become engineers. And when I heard about Warren Buffett, that is the first time in my life I understood the power of compounding. Compounding is, Einstein used to call compounding the eighth wonder of the world, because you get some just extreme results from the way compounding works. And so I'll just, before I answer your question, I'll just go a little bit into compounding. So Warren Buffett, when he was 20 years old in 1950, he had $10,000 that he had made from working as a teenager. $10,000 will be about 7 lakhs, 6.5, 7 lakhs, 6.4 lakhs actually. And he was planning to invest that money and grow it. So if you, let's say, have, let's say 6 lakhs, okay, and let's say you will go to IIT in 2019, you will graduate in 2023, right? You get a job, you start working, you save some money, 3 lakhs a year. By 2025, you have saved 6 lakhs. Okay? 2025. And let's forget about your future savings. Every year you're going to save some money, but let's forget about that. We'll get to that later. Let's say this 6 lakhs is increasing at 24% a year. How we get to 24% we'll talk about later, but let's say you're able to do 24% a year, increase in the money. There is something known as the rule of 72. How many of you have heard of the rule of 72? Raise your hand. Have you heard of the rule of 72? So one of the sad things is that in Navodaya and in CBSE curriculum, they have not put rule of 72. Do you know rule of 72? But, so I'll explain the rule, but did you learn about it on your own? You heard from your teacher, good. Okay, so let me just go through rule of 72 very quickly. One of the most important things to know is rule of 72. Rule of 72 says that if I know the rate of interest, compounding rate of interest, then I will know how long it takes money to double. So if I do 72 divided by 24, it's 3. So if my compound rate of interest is 24%, every 3 years, the money will double. Okay? 1.24 times 1.24 times 1.24 is approximately 2. If I am compounding at 7%, it will take 10 years. 72 divided by 7, approximately 10 years. If I am compounding at 15%, it will take 5 years. So this 72 is a magical thing where it works with many different numbers. Not all numbers, but most numbers it works. So if I am compounding, for example, at 10%, how long will it take for the money to double? Raise your hand. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so have a seat. We don't care about the 0.2. We are going to do what my mother used to call mota hisab. Okay? So don't give me 0.2s and 0.3s. If I am compounding at 12%, how many years will it take for money to double? 6 years, good. And if I'm compounding at 9%, how long will it take for money to double? Okay. Now the other thing about the rule of 72 is I can reverse it, which is if I know how many years it takes to double, I know what the rate is. Okay? So I am doubling my money every 4 years. What is the rate of compounding? 18%. Correct. So this is one very beautiful elastic math where if I know the number of years it takes to double, I can figure out my rate of return. If I know my rate of return, I can figure out how long it takes to double. Most important thing in life is how long it takes to double. So at 24%, we are doubling in 3 years, right? In 2025, what will be your age?
23.
23. So, and your name?
Samir.
So, Samir is 23 years old. He has 6 lakhs. Samir, please have a seat. When will you die?
It is not about approx 70, approx 80,
What age will you die at?
80 year approx.
और नहीं जीना चाहते? 80. So, if a baby is born today, and a baby is born 4 years from now, the baby born 4 years from now will live 1 more year than the baby born today, because medicine is advancing. Okay, so I may live into my 80s. You will probably live more than me, because you were born about 30 plus years after me. So my guess is you may make it to 90. Congratulations. Okay. So Samir is going to live till he's 90. He starts when he's 23. So how many years do we have? 67. So 67 years. I always like to do math easily. Let's say instead of 90, you don't make it to 90. Unfortunately, you died at 89. Okay? So we have 66 years. How many periods of 3 years are there in 66 years? 22. So if you are going at 24%, it's 2 to the power 22 times 6 lakhs. Right? He had 6 lakhs when he was 23 years old. He somehow managed to get 24% a year on it. And he went till he was 89. Just before dying, he was still compounding. And then he died. Okay? So Samir, when he passes away, assuming he never saved any other money, when he was 24 years old, he bought a fancy motorcycle. When he was 25 years old, he bought a fancy car, not saving money, just enjoying life. But he only saved the 6 lakhs, okay? So what is 2 to the power 22? Again, unlike all your professors, I like to make things easy. So 2 to the power 22 is, and eventually I will answer your question. हम पहुंच रहे हैं, धीरे धीरे पहुंच जाएंगे. Is 2 to the power 10 times 2 to the power 10 times 2 to the power 2. Right? What is 2 to the power 10? No, you got to raise your hand. Yeah. Okay, so अभी हम मोटा हिसाब करते हैं. What is 2 to the power 10? 1000. Forget the 24. So 1000 times 1000 times 4 times 6 lakhs. What is that number? So 6 lakhs times 100 is 6 crores. 60 crores. 60,000 crores. 240,000 crores. Congratulations. So wealthy. Have a seat. So, Samir, make sure you become good friends with him. Because if he has 240,000 crores, maybe he'll give you 1 crore. Is it a nice number? After not saving anything for whole life, only saving 2 years. Only 2 years of saving. Baki kuch saving nahi hua. So what Warren Buffett did was, this is what he did. He understood compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. He worked a lot of different jobs when he was in teenage years. He had $10,000 when he was 20 years old. And he said, I'm going to compound this. And if you compound it this late, now I'm used to thinking in dollars. Okay, so I'm going to convert this in dollars because 240,000 crores, I get confused. Okay, so if I divide by 6, approximately, this is 40,000 million. Actually, yeah, 1 crore is 6 crores is $1 million, approximately 6.4 crores, and so it's approximately it's approximately $40 billion. What is the amount of money Bill Gates has? Let me tell you. Bill Gates has $100 billion. हमारे समीर ने 2 साल सेव करके बिल गेट्स के लेवल में पहुंच गए. अभी if he had saved money for 3rd year and he got some raise, and let's say 3rd year he saved 4 lakhs, he'll go past Bill Gates, right? How is he able to do that? He's able to do that because of the power of compounding. So, what happened with me, to answer your question, Sumedh, is in 1994, I heard about this guy, Warren Buffett. And when I heard about this guy, Warren Buffett, फंडा क्रैक हो गया, राइट? जैसे आपका फंडा क्रैक हो रहा है ना, आई क्रैक्ड द फंडा. एंड व्हाट इज द फंडा? द फंडा इज थोड़ा सा पैसा चाहिए, उसके बाद कंपाउंडिंग इंजन, एंड देन यू नीड लॉन्ग रनवे, 50 years, 60 years, long runway. So what happened with me, to answer your question, is that in 1994, I heard about Warren Buffett for the first time. Unfortunately, I was already 30 years old. He's going to start his engine at 23. In my case, I could not start my engine at 23. I was already 30 years old. But at 30 years old, I had sold one portion of my company, and I had $1 million. And yeah, 1 million is equal to 6.4 crores. तो मैंने सोचा कि why not put this on an engine? Why not? And so I said, what if we take the 1 million and go till the age of 60? So this is 1994. And this is 2024. I say, because you know why I picked 30 years? Because it's 3 times 10. And 3 is the number of years for double, right? So I said, what if I can compound it so it doubles every 3 years, go to 30 years, have 6.4 crores, it will become 1,000 times. So it's going to become 6,400 crores, right? And now we have not come to 2024 yet. We are right here in the year 2017. तो फंडा क्रैक कर लिया. तो अभी the amount is more than 1,000 crores. Well done. Okay, now 7 years are left. Okay, so in 3 years, 2,000 crores. 6 years, 4,000 crores. And why stop at 60? Keep going. So I decided the game is so much fun that instead of stopping at 60, I'm going to die on June 11, 2044. Make sure you show up at the funeral. Are you going to show up? Yes, sir. Thank you. And because I've already given you the date, there'll be some announcement that he has died. You just need to show up at the funeral in the black shirt, please. Okay? Don't forget. So if I go in 2044, and right now we are in 2017 to 2044, how many years is this? Pardon?
27.
Only 27 years of life is left. Actually, it's not 27 years, it's 26 and a half years. Because 6 mahine to nikal gaye already. So only 26 and a half years are left before I have to leave all of you. So let us use round numbers, because 27 is nice multiple of 3. We need multiple of 3 to make it easy. So let's say it's 27 years. So it's 2 to the power of 9. What is 2 to the power of 9? 500. Oh, 512 में complicate मत करो यार. 500. only do approximation with me, not on your JE paper. Okay? JE paper, they want exact numbers. So we have 1,000 times 500. So it is 500,000 crores. Now, let's talk about Dakshana. So my daughter is in the room next door. She's going to talk to you soon. I already told her that this money not coming to her. And she has a sister. I told her sister also, the money is not coming to you. It's fun for you to make your own money. And तुम ऐसे करना, मैंने उनको बोला, both my daughters, I told them, तुम 22 पे job लेना, जैसे समीर को बोला, save the money, start the engine. They said okay. So they are not getting this money because anyway it is no fun getting, if you get 500,000 crores, you'll go mad. Right? What are you going to do with 500,000 crores? So I said, okay, let's do something else. So you will soon learn, I like to play mathematical games. Do you notice I like to play mathematical games? Okay, and I like to play mathematical games that make money. What is the point of learning math? What is the point? To me, make money. Now you can also use it to fly a plane, launch a missile, a lot of things. To me, making money is a fun way to use math. Okay, so what I decided to do is I decided that on June 10th, 2044, the amount of money I should have should be 0. Because if it is even 1 rupee, it's not going to the daughters or the grandsons or granddaughters or anyone else. I have to get rid of it, right? So there are 2 games. You are part of the second game. I know you didn't realize you're part of a game, but unfortunately you're part of the game. Okay? One engine is the compounding engine, which is going one way, up here. So what I decided to do is, अभी ये 500,000 crores को suddenly 0 पे लाना थोड़ा difficult job है, इतना easy नहीं है. So let me just give you a secret. It's easier for me to make that money than to get rid of it. It's more difficult to get rid of it. Okay? So I said, one engine is working well. Let's start second engine. So this is what I did. Sorry, I have to keep erasing, but we need room to answer Sumed's question. So what I decided is that when I crossed 300 crores, I will start giving away 2% of the money every year. Okay? When it grows to like 600 crores, I'll take it to 3%. 900 crores, exactly, you already knew my mind, 4%. 1,200, 5%. What is the number we are at right now? I told you what is the number right now. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I told you what is the number right now. The number right now is 1,000. Right? 2017, 1,000. Based on the formula, how much needs to be given away every year? 4%. Right? So we are over here. So basically, we have one engine which is making money at 24%. Okay? We have second engine now giving the money away, right? So when I decided on this 2%, when I first decided, this was in 2006. In 2006, I thought, ये तो चल रहा है, पैसे आ रहे हैं. So then I said, we have to figure out something to get to zero. So I started to think about what is the best way to give the money away, right? There are many ways to give the money away. What is the best way? So give a man a fish, you feed him and his family for 1 day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Should we give fish or should we teach fishing? Teach fishing. Did you know that you are being taught fishing? Not JE, you're being taught fishing. Are you going to be a good fisherman? All right. Make sure you're a good fisherman because we are spending a lot of money to teach you fishing. So I decided we don't want to give fish. Like, I can go outside some mandir. Lots of people are sitting. I can give them food every day. Is that a good thing to do? Yes, that's a good thing to do. But teaching fishing, in my opinion, is a better thing to do. Right? So if someone is poor and starving, it's very good to give them food. But there are better ways than that, so that that person doesn't need to next day come and sit again for more food. I want to take those people outside the temple and retrain them so they don't have to sit outside the temple. I don't want them to come every day, keep on asking for food, because that's no good. So we decided that we will teach fishing. And what we decided is that we'll keep doing this fishing. Now, we have a problem. Let me tell you what my problems are. You know, you thought you had problems. I have problems. Let me tell you my problems. So, to create one fisherman is 1.5 lakhs. You know, over 2 years, to give you all the coaching and all that, approximately 1.5 lakhs. Okay? So, Dakshana is now going to take, we will take 600 kids in Dakshana Valley. We are taking about 1,000 kids a year. Every year we are taking 1,000 kids. And when we take the 1,000 kids, it costs 1,500 lakhs, which is 15 crores. Right? How much are we supposed to give every year? So again, let me ask you a question, important number. What is the amount I have right now? How much am I supposed to give every year? How much is that? 40 crores. What is this number? So here's the problem. The problem is we are running out of brains and we are running out of seats. Okay, so we do all the selection test. मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ मेरी क्या-क्या मुसीबतें हैं. You know, try to understand my problems. Okay, we do the selection test. Now, we need to spend 4,000 crores. Right? 4,000 lakhs, 40 crores, right? If I have to spend 40 crores, and which is almost 3 times this number, I have to take almost 3,000 kids. So we are taking 1,000 kids a year. We will need to increase that to 3,000. Okay? Now, when we do the Navodaya selection test, 3,000-4,000 kids are sitting for the test. Sabko le le. Should we take them all? We cannot take them all. Why not? They cannot be good fishermen. I'm so sorry to say. We need to make good fishermen. So I have told my Colonel Sharma, have you met him? Sharmila, you've not met Colonel yet? Aayenge. Sharmila, Commander, I told them, ये मेरी problem है. We need to increase. So I am trying to figure out right now some engine which will increase this number. So this model, so what we did is we used to take kids only from Navodaya, right? And we are taking about almost 800 kids a year from Navodaya now. 400 we are taking, 500 we are taking in 10th, another 400 or so we are taking in 12th. So we're taking almost 800 kids a year in Navodaya. I don't think we can increase that number a lot because there are only so many really smart kids. Maybe we can take it to 1,200 or 1,500 kids, but that doesn't solve my problem here. So what I have to think about is a second engine, different way to teach fishing, which I'm thinking about right now is there another program, like this was copied from Super 30, is there another program we can run? So why did I start Dakshana? That was your question. I'm so sorry to tell you, I did not start Dakshana to make the world better. I started Dakshana because I like to play games. There are two games. Engine making money, engine to give away money. It's just an engine to give away money. Now the side effect of the engine to give away money is you will make a lot of money. And you can start your own engine. What do you say? High five. Yes. In US we do high five. Let's do a high five. There you go. All right. Okay, so did that answer your question? Okay. I'm sorry it took so long. Next question.
My name is Govind Vishwakarma and I am from JNV Kottayam, Uttar Pradesh. And my question is, why did you choose the name of this foundation as Dakshana Foundation?
Okay, very good. Have a seat. So, the reason I chose the name Dakshana is, I could have also called it the Mohnish Pabrai Foundation, for example. Or I could call it Pabrai Family Foundation. Or some other name like that. But, you know, it would not look so good on the shirt. Which would look better? Mohnish Pabrai Foundation or Dakshana? Dakshana looks better. So I decided that I have to make a foundation that is not about me. And that other people will think it's their organization. So I did not want to give a name that was associated with me. And I also wanted the entity to live on long after I am gone. So in the end, Dakshana eventually, it will be run by the alums, it will be funded by the alums, everything will be happening with the alums. And because you are so used to the name Dakshana, and because it's a better name than Mohnish Pabrai Foundation, that's why we chose that name. And the Dakshana, you know, it's a Sanskrit word. It means to give and receive a gift. People think it's only to give a gift, but it actually means to give and receive a gift, both ways. And so today, you are getting a gift, right? Only because I like to play games, okay? In the future, Sumir, you'll have same problem. 500,000 crores. How much is he going to have? I forgot. $40 billion, 240,000 crores. And what happens if he decides to save 4 lakhs every year? What happens then? He'll have all the money in the world. थोड़े और लोगों के लिए पैसा छोड़ देना यार. सारा का सारा पैसा मत ले लेना. Leave some money for the others. So just imagine, so what happens if in this entire class, everyone is saving 3 lakhs a year? That's it. You guys will own the world. Finished. Right? How easy is it to own the whole world? Just focus on mathematics. That's it. All right, next question.
My name is Siddhant Daksande from JNV Chandrapur, Maharashtra. I want to ask that why did you keep the caste criteria in Dakshana?
All right, that's good. Good question. So, why did we keep the caste strategy? All these games we are playing. So, ideally what Dakshana should do, it should have no caste strategy. It should help people who are poor, not people who are from a lower caste. It should help people who are poor. Because if you are rich, you don't need Dakshana. You can directly go to some coaching institute, right? So rich people don't need to be part of the game I'm playing. Poor people need to be part of the game. But the Indian government works a certain way. So what the Indian government did is they give caste preferences in the IITs, right? The IITs have preference for scheduled caste. They have preference for scheduled tribe. They have preference for disabled people. If I was the emperor of India, that would not be how the IITs would take people. We would only have, what we would do is, we would give preference to the people who are from poor background, so they can rise, but we would not give preference based on caste. But I'm within a system that I have to work with. So the IITs want to give preference to scheduled caste. So what Dakshana does, it does a tweak. You know, I like to play games, so I twist the game. So I take scheduled caste who are poor. Because if I take scheduled caste who are poor, the IIT will give them preference. So I get the poor kid into IIT. I hold the year this way, but I get the poor kid into IIT. If there is a rich person who is scheduled caste, we try not to take them in our program. And they can, on their own, apply, and they can also take some seats in IIT. That's fine. We can't control that. That's okay. So what Dakshana tries to do is, we try that almost everyone we take in our program. Now we do a few things. We don't apply any income criteria or anything for girls, because there are other problems girls have in our society. So we try to help solve those problems. We also have no income criteria we apply if you are disabled. So if you are physically disabled, also you have hardships. So we try to help you. But beyond that, what we are trying to do is we are trying to leverage the seats in the IITs, which can be taken advantage of by poor scheduled caste and scheduled tribe kids. So that is the reason why we give caste preference, because I have to work in the system. And the way this particular system works is the JNVs also give preference to scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. The IITs also give preference to scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. We are sitting in between those two systems. And so what we want to do is we want to kind of filter from that group and optimize the people going in. So that is the reason why we do that. Not everyone agrees with me, but such is life. We try to do the best we can. How many of you, raise your hand, agree with me? And how many of you disagree with me? Looks like people are in agreement. Pretty good. Next question.
My name is Krishna Kumar Prajapati from JNV Balia, Uttar Pradesh. My question is, what do you expect from us other than to get into IIT?
All right. Thank you. Number one, please focus on compounding. Will you focus on compounding? Because, you know, we want to have fun in life. If you want to have fun in life, you've got to focus on compounding. But the thing is, honestly, I have no expectations of you. Zero. So what I'm trying to do, my objective is to get to zero. That's my primary objective, right? Now, the fact that you guys get into IIT and you do well and do whatever you do, so some of you may decide, I'm going to compound wealth and I'm going to give it away. Others may say, I'm going to compound wealth and I'm going to live really well. Others may say that I'm going to serve my country. Or they may say, I'm going to try to fix corruption or whatever else. So for each person, the rules and goals are different. So you figure it out. But Dakshana, when we help you, we are not expecting anything back from you. So I have no expectation that there's anything coming back. Now, it may happen that 20, 30 years from now, some of you become really wealthy. And it may happen that some of you may be interested in seeing if you can help Dakshana. So we have to see. Dakshana may have a problem of having too much money. It may not need other people's money. Or the other hand, we may find some causes. Like I'm thinking of another cause which will be trying to fix 1st through 5th standard in government schools. Now, if I try to do 1st to 5th standard government school, all the money will be gone. Okay? It's a huge problem. But that's good, because we want all the money to be gone. So I'm trying to think of a way, so what I'm thinking of, I'm still refining the ideas in my head, is can I use technology so teacher is not required? So the biggest cost in a government school from 1st standard to 5th standard is what they pay the teachers. And the teachers, they don't come. They are absent, taking the money, or they are not interested. Or some teachers are good, many are bad. So if we just take the teachers out, and instead of the teachers, I have videos, tablets, various other tools, where just like I'm talking to you, it is more consistent if a high-end video delivers a lecture and then the kids take the test on a digital tablet. We can look at test results and say, that kid needs help with carryover math, because we can see he's having trouble there. So the better kids can help that kid in that area, this sort of thing. So I'm thinking that we may at some point experiment. If we go down this path, we may take 5 or 10 schools, and we may, so some government schools, we may say, Dekho, you have your teachers, fine, no problem. They can get paid. They will become like coaches. They will not teach. The technology will teach, and then the teachers will look at what is going on. And there's a school I found in Punjab, private school, about 3,000 girls. There are no teachers. The school has been running for 20 years. Very successful, very low cost, boarding. The older kids teach the younger kids. So the chowkidar of the school is a student. All the cooking of the school is done by the students. They have farms, the school kids do the farming. So they have taken out all the cost of the school. And I'm going to visit that school next year. You know why I'm visiting the school next year? Because we have a problem. Can't absorb with this engine. Have to find second engine. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. We have to try. So we'll spend 5, 10 years trying to apply technology, see what happens. But if we make it work in 10 schools, where these 10 schools, the kids are doing really well, there are no teachers and all that, then to go from 10 to 10,000 is not hard, because it's technology, right? And we can pump it out. So this is what I'm thinking about, is what we might do next. Other questions?
Sir, I'm Gopikant Kumar, JNV Dhandho from Jharkhand. So my question is, can I really succeed from here in returning the expectation of my father with the dream he sent me over here? And can I serve my country in every possible way that I can? If so, how?
Okay, have a seat. So, आप ऐसे करिए, tension मत लो. Okay, just be relaxed. So, a lot of you have a lot of expectations that your family has. You know, they are depending on you. And you are very young. Your shoulders are very narrow. You cannot hold so much burden. So don't hold all these burdens. Just relax. And what you do is you focus on just the next step. What is the next step? The next test you have to take. That's it. Focus on that. Then when that test is over, look at what is next after that. So right now, just focus on your academics. Solve and figure out the problem, physics, chemistry, math, where you are having trouble. And your objective right now should be forget all your troubles. There are a lot of troubles we have in the world. I told you about my troubles, and just focus on the task at hand. Lord Krishna, Karam Yogi. Be a Karam Yogi, right? So we don't need to worry about my father has these expectations, my family has all this karza, I have to help this person, my brother is not doing well. Forget all those things. Right now, you cannot help any of them. Okay? You're not in a position to help any of them. You will not be in a position to really help any of them for at least 5 more years. 5.5 years. Right? So you have to tell everyone in your family, time out. I can't help you right now. Wait for 5.5 years. I'll try to save 2-3 lakhs to get the engine started. I'll try to do some, or what I'll do is first 2-3 years I will not even start my engine. Help all the people. Give them whatever money you are saving. Start the engine when you're 25, 26 years old. No problem. And then take it from there. So don't worry about things like my father needs this help, my brother needs this help, we have a lot of problems at home, my sister is not married. You can't help in any of those things right now. So ignore it. Wait till you get to the point where you can help. Next question.
Sir, I am Anuj Soni from JNV Kottayam, Uttar Pradesh. Sir, my question is, how can I be a part of Silicon Valley, USA?
Okay. Have a seat. So, what is more important, Samir? Going to Silicon Valley or cracking compounding? Oh, samajh aa gayi na baat. Cracking compounding more important than Silicon Valley. What about doing both? Is it okay to do both? Go to Silicon Valley and crack compounding? Okay, so going to Silicon Valley, very easy. Number 1, clear the JEE. Are you going to clear JEE? Yes. So phase 1, clear JEE. Which IIT do you want to go to? IIT Kharagpur. Okay, and what do you want to study?
Computer science.
Okay, very good. So focus on IIT Kharagpur. Please have a seat. Focus on computer science. And then when you are 3rd year or 4th year, सब इंटरनेट पे है, अप्लाई करना शुरू कर दो. And there's big shortage of computer science engineers in Silicon Valley. Maybe 20 companies will want to hire you. Pick the one you want. Join them. Put some money for compounding. Life is so easy. That's it. So focus on the immediate task, the JEE rank. What rank are you going to get?
Sir, under 600.
Under 600? He said it. Make sure he gets under 600. Is he going to get it, you think? For sure? Okay. All right, thank you. Next.
I want to say, sir, I want to ask you, did your childhood pass in poverty?
Oh, did my childhood pass in poverty? Okay, so good question. Please have a seat. My childhood did not pass in poverty. Okay, but what did happen in my childhood was that my father was a businessman and he had many different businesses, but very frequently after every few years the business used to go bankrupt. And when the business used to go bankrupt, my parents had no savings, so suddenly we have no money. We can't pay money for rent, can't buy any food, and so we are then asking relatives to help us. And we never got to the point where we became homeless or anything like that, but Many times my father had to put his hand in front of relatives to please help him. And he didn't like to do that, but he was forced to do that. And so one of the things I decided when I was graduating at 22 is that I would not allow that to happen to me. And what I had, now when I was 22, unlike you, I did not understand compounding. I did not understand rule of 72. But what I decided is I'll take a job and I'll save money. My parents never saved money. I saw that they never saved money, and I saw that was a problem. So I said, I'm going to save money, and that money is going to grow, so sometime if I lose my job or something else happens, I have something to fall back. And then after a few years, I decided to start a business and went from there. And now I think I may have other problems. I don't think I will have poverty problems. I have other problems. So I don't have the same experience than most of you do. You know, I had a different childhood, but we have one thing in common. I also went through CBSE. But one thing we don't have in common is if I took Dakshana selection test, I would not get selected. And you took Dakshana selection test, you got selected. So for me, the way to enter Dakshana was to start it. And for you, the way to enter Dakshana was to crack the test. So next question. Okay, so anyone have any other questions that they want to ask? Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, I am Ankit from Jharkhand. I want to know what are the difficulties that one faces in compounding, and what are the things to do to keep running the engine properly?
Okay, so Ankit trying to get to the essence of the problem. So you know, Ankit, when I went through all this, I did not explain to you how to get 24%. Did I explain that? Is it important to know that? Is it important to know that? Yes. So, like I told him, I need you to crack the JEE. This will not help you crack the JEE. So, after you go to IIT, and after you get to third year in IIT, you send me an email, okay? And you say, dear Mohnish, you came to our class, I asked you about difficulty of compounding. You very smartly did not answer the question, and you pushed the question out. So in your third year in IIT, send me an email. Here's my email address. And what I will do in your third year, when you send me this thing, I will send you a list of books that I want you to start reading after you finish IIT. Those books will crack the funda for you, if you are willing to learn. And then that's it. You're on the path. And even if you don't get 24%, let's say you get 10%, but you keep saving every year. Is that going to be a big number? Yes, a very big number. And so the important thing in compounding is length of runway, which means you start early, amount you're saving, and the rate of return. Rate of return is the one that you have less control over. The other two things you have more control over. So out of the three variables, you can control two variables, focus on those. I will give you data on the third variable, and then we'll take it from there.
Sir, my name is Joydeep Raj. Sir, I want to ask that, sir, what is the secret of getting satisfaction from anyone, which I am searching for years?
Okay, so you're looking for, please have a seat. If you want to enjoy the work you're doing, you have to focus on doing work that you are passionate about, that you love. So a lot of people, for example, they want to go to IIT, They want to go to computer science. They want to become software engineers. But then when you ask them why all of those things, it's because they want to make a lot of money. That's the wrong reason to do that. It's okay to do those things if you love software development and software engineering and all that. If your passion is painting or your passion is poetry, you should pursue those passions. So the most important thing is if you want to do things well in life, you have to do what you enjoy doing. So this is a difficult thing for most people because when you are young, it's hard to know what you like. And the reason it's hard to know what you like is because you have not had that much experience to try many things. But you have some indications, right? So if, let's say you're studying physics, chemistry, math, one of those subjects may be much more interesting to you than the other subject, right? So that gives you some indicator that you are more interested in physics than chemistry. So maybe you focus something which is related to physics. Or within physics, you are very fascinated with celestial bodies and astronomy and, you know, space and all that. So then you know, I want to maybe go into aeronautics or something like that, right? So you try to ask yourself, what do I really enjoy? Don't ask yourself, what will give me a lot of money? Ask yourself what you will enjoy. And if you do what you enjoy, you will have the most success. If you do what other people tell you to do, or you do it because your friends are doing it, then that's the wrong reason. So every day when I wake up, I always focus on doing things that I enjoy doing. I don't care about what people will think about it or so. Like today, December 24th, I'm here with you. I could be in Hawaii on a beach, drinking a nice drink and just enjoying. But that is useless. This is more fun. So I decided I want to come here and not go to some beach. Okay? I can go and do some touring or some tourism, all useless. It's more fun to talk to Dakshana Scholars. So I tried a lot of things and I find that having interaction with Dakshana Scholars is one of the good things to do. It's a lot of fun to do that. And in fact, I always like coming to Kerala so much. How many of you love Kerala? Raise your hand. How many of you love the red rice of Kerala? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Acquired taste. Take some time to like it. So I was actually thinking, normally I see a batch once because I have to meet so many batches. But I was thinking because Kottayam and Kerala is so much fun, I should come every year because it's just fun. So maybe next year I'll come back again, okay? And maybe again on December 24th when the whole school is gone, just us. And by then you will think of some new questions to ask me. So you have to focus on doing things that you love to do. If you're doing what you love to do, you have the most chance of a lot of success. If you do things because the money is good, that's a very bad reason. You will not work well. Next question? Yeah.
Sir, my name is Kunal Vaidya. I am from JNV Jalgaon, Maharashtra. My question is, what is Dakshana planning for more betterment of future coming scholars and give more chances to students from rural areas?
Okay, very good. Have a seat. So at Dakshana, we want to impact as many lives as possible. You know, we want to have impact. And so definitely we are interested in increasing the scale of the program. So some of you may know in Bangalore, we have Charles T. Munger Hall, and we built new dorms. In the dorms, it's two scholars in one room. The dorms are better than IIT dorms. They are better than the dorms here, I'm sorry to say. And the classroom can take 120 kids. It has got audio visual. It has got good facilities. So we rebuilt the whole thing. There's a separate building for the labs. That infrastructure is really good. That was a joint partnership between us and Navodaya when we did that. So we would like to replicate that, what we did in Bangalore, at many locations. And I think the next one is Pune, Hyderabad. And I'd be very keen to have that happen here. And, but we need to work with the government to make that happen. And so we'll work on that. So we are very interested in expanding the program. We are very interested in having more kids. Our biggest cost is faculty. And so if I have 20 kids in the classroom or 50 kids in the classroom or 100 kids in the classroom, the cost is the same, almost the same. So we want larger classrooms which have better infrastructure so that we get economies of scale. Like in Bangalore, each classroom has 120 kids, but it's a very nice classroom. And we get more efficiency. And the kids get a lot more support from each other. So we are able to put the homogeneous kids in one classroom. And so it makes it more structured that way. So these are some of the plans we have in the future. Next question.
So my name is Pranav Kadam. I am from JNV Pune. My question is, what will you do with the extra donation of last year? Are you thinking to start more coaching centers in Navodaya?
Have a seat. Yeah. So, you know, we have coaching in JNV Pune. And instead of being in your home JNV, they have sent you here. How do you feel about that?
Nothing bad, because there is medical.
Because what?
There is medical coaching.
Yeah, okay. Well, like I said, we want to start more centers, and we obviously want to expand and scale the program. I think part of that depends on the government. We definitely want to increase it, and we are working with them. And rather than do more centers, we actually want to get more kids into each center because that gives us more efficiency. And it's better for the kids as well because you will have more interaction with kids of your who like you and so on. And also will probably reduce some of the long distances many of you have to travel because your home JNV is so far away from the coaching center. So that's, I'm hoping we'll get there with that. Next question. Yeah.
So my name is Rahul. I am from Uttar Pradesh. My question is, why Dakshina had not choose those coaching as a coaching partner which are producing high ranks in JE Advanced like FIT, GLN, except only Resonance?
Okay. So is time not doing good job? How is the coaching with time?
It was better, but there is something discussion in ourselves that this coaching has produced great results, this coaching. So I want a clear idea, what is reality, which deviates something in ourselves that there must be, this coaching was that, this coaching was that. So I need some clear idea.
Yeah. So what we have found is we've been doing coaching for about 10 years now. We started in 2007. And we've worked with a number of different coaching institutes over the last 10 years. And some of them worked really well, some didn't work well. What we found is it is not so much the coaching institute, it is the teacher, the faculty member. So the quality of the faculty member is much more important than the name of the coaching institute. So, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's take Resonance. I love Resonance, just like I love Time. They do a great job. Resonance is headquartered in Kota. We use them, for example, in Bundi, right? With JNV Bundi is very close to Kota. And really good faculty from Kota goes there to teach. It's about 30 miles, 45 kilometers or so. They go every day and teach, and they do a good job. But the reason they're able to do a good job is because Resonance has such a large amount of faculty in Kota, and because Mr. Verma takes personal interest, they send the best faculty. Now, we also use Resonance in Dakshana Valley. And in Dakshana Valley, I'm sorry to say, but the quality of the faculty from Resonance is significantly below the quality of the faculty at JNV Bundi. We are paying the same amount. We are putting pressure on them, but they are not able to deliver. And sometimes we get good faculty, sometimes we don't get good faculty. So why is that? Well, the reason is that what I have found after 10 years with the coaching institutes is the geography makes a big difference about their ability to provide high quality faculty. I can guarantee you that if we did a deal with FITG and we told FITG, please coach the students in JNV Kottayam, you'll be very unhappy because some third-rate faculty is going to show up. Because where is the closest FITG center with a lot of faculty relative to this school? Which is the closest FITG center from here, which has more than 20 faculty members? Would you know?
And only Kochi.
Cochin?
Kochi, yes.
Right. So Cochin, do they have a big center? The FITG center in Cochin, how big is it?
No idea about it.
Okay. Let me take a guess. Much smaller than Delhi. If I have a location in Delhi and I go to FITG, they are very strong in Delhi. That is the headquarters of the company. I have been to many FITG centers in Delhi. Now, specifically FITG, I had a lot of meetings with them. I wanted them to work with us. And I tried to make it work in locations that they are strong in. What ended up happening is their charges that they charge us is way higher than anyone else. And so we find it kind of economically very strange. So for example, if I look at something like Resonance, Mr. Verma, who is the founder of Resonance, he came from a background like many of you. He grew up in a very remote village. When he was growing up, he only spoke Hindi. He took the IIT entrance exam in Hindi. He had no money. Okay? From nothing he has built. And so now when we run the program with him, and I have seen him, he comes to JNV Bundi to take a lecture. He is very passionate about helping the kids. And the reason he's passionate is because he came from the same place you come from. And so he wants to make a difference. And so when I told Resonance the following. I said, look, you are charging, let's say, 1 lakh per year per kid. Charge us 50,000, 40,000. In 2 minutes, he said, okay. Then I thought, why didn't I say 10,000? He would have said, okay, to 10,000 too. I was stupid. You know, I should have asked for more discount. So why did he agree? We asked Resonance, drop the fee. They dropped the fee. We asked FITG, drop the fee. The fee is above the list price of Resonance. And they have no interest in dropping the fee. So we have to, at Dakshana, look at efficiencies. And we have to look at the passion of the founder. So what we have found is that we have a location, JNV Silvassa. JNV Silvassa is in Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Union Territory. That is a location only for girls. They only have accommodation for girls. And it's in the middle of nowhere. It's between Gujarat and Mumbai. But there is a very small coaching institute called Rao Academy. Very, very small. But Dr. Rao is very passionate about this program with these kids. And he personally teaches, gets the best faculty. Anytime we tell him someone is not good, he tries to make changes, the price is low, everything is there. So the brand is not there. No one heard of Rao Academy. But the faculty is good. So what I have learned in 10 years is I can go to a top brand coaching institute and they will do a good job if I am in the geography where they are strong. If I go to Narayana and I tell them, please do coaching for me in Assam or Tripura, they will fail. If I go to Narayana and say, do coaching for me in Hyderabad, they will succeed. So for us, what we have learned after 10 years is don't chase the brand. Look at the location. And then, so Kottayam is a difficult location because this is very far from Kochi, right? But what we found is that the people at Time have put energy behind this. They want you guys to do well. And they are trying to, like your, I think one of your faculty members was not so good. Was it physics? Changed. How is the new person? Good? All right. If we are another faculty, another company, they may not be able to help us. But the important thing with Time for us is, Time cares about you. It's the most important thing. They care about you. So, I don't want to bring resonance over here. If I bring resonance over here, even if Mr. Verma is a good person, he doesn't have strength over here. The faculty will not travel so much. We will have a lot of problems. Eventually, Dakshana wants to have its own faculty. How many of our own faculty are there now? Do you know, across Dakshana?
Yes, 6 are there. Dakshana Valley and
So 6, right? So we are trying to hire our alums to become our faculty. Out of the 6, how many are alums? Only one. What's his name?
Amit Dwivedi.
Oh, Amit Dwivedi. Yeah, I know him. Good guy. So, something you can think about is if you're passionate about teaching, come back to JNV Kottayam. Make a difference. My buddy, Gandhiji, what he used to say, be the change you want to see. So, do you want to see better faculty here? You be the change. You want to see a change, the road should be better. Become a civil engineer and change the road. Don't say, oh, this government should change the road. No, be the change. You be the change that you want to see. Okay, but good question. Next question.
Sir, as we know, you are paying a lot of money for our welfare. But sir, we are human, our requirement is somewhat more. Our school is providing everything, every aspects as much as possible. But sir, somewhat there is a lady who come every day to clean our toilets, bathrooms, etc. And a lady also comes who used to wash our clothes and some printing materials for Dakshana uses. For this, our NVS Samiti is not providing money. But even our principal madam is providing such things also. But sir, sometime our madam is feeling struggle for this. That's why I'm requesting to you, sir. So please pay for this. And I know, sir, you are paying a lot of, but sir, if you will do something, will be our beneficial. And I hope, sir, you will do.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So, have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
let me explain who I am. I am a tourist, okay? I am a tourist who has come to Kerala for tourism, okay, having fun. I don't run Dakshana. There is a CEO who apparently you have not met yet, Colonel Sharma, you'll be meeting him soon, the colonel, who runs Dakshana. So one of the things I learned about in management is I told Colonel Sharma, dear Mr. Sharma, dear Colonel Ji, you are in charge of Dakshana. You run the program. I write the checks. We have a handshake. I write the checks, he runs the program. And I told him, I am a stupid person. I'm not very smart. I'll just look at the result every year to see what happened in the JE. That result will tell me whether you are doing a good job or not. When we started in 2007, first batch, which took JE in 2009, 1 out of 7 kids went to IIT. 1 out of 7. They were as good as you. This year in Kottayam, 6 out of 7 went to IIT. Right? And 2009, 1 out of 7 went. And when 1 out of 7 went, I knew at that time we had a lot of problems. We just talked about faculty. We used to have a coaching institute. I don't like to mention names of coaching institutes that didn't do a good job. But we had a coaching institute that took our money, and we had a location in Assam where they were supposed to send faculty. They sent us invoice. We wire transferred money into the account. After that, either the faculty didn't know anything about any subject, or half the time they never showed up. Okay? Out of 40 kids in Assam, I think 2 kids went to IIT. So I knew in 2 years we had a lot of problems with coaching there. I knew that we had a lot of problems. So I knew that if we improve the quality of the coaching, we will get better outcomes, right? And from 2009 till now, we continuously monitor and want to keep improving the program, okay? And you guys give us good feedback on how to improve. If you don't tell us the physics guy is useless, we won't be able to make the change, right? So we have to know from you. But there's a way for me to manage. So let's say Mohnish goes and tells the colonel the following, because I talked to your principal also. The one person to help you with all these things is 7,500 rupees a month. Nothing for Dakshana. Very easy to do that. It is per student, it is nothing, right? So let's say I tell the colonel, please make this change. If I tell him to do anything, he will do it. But what happens after I tell him that is I become responsible. And you know what I want? I want no responsibility. 0. I want to be a tourist. So when the result comes out, I tell Colonel Sharma, what are the results? There is nothing he can say to me, तुमने मुझे बोला था ये करने के लिए इसलिए ये हुआ. He can never say that to me. Why can he never say that to me? Because I'm never telling him anything. ना रहेगा बांस, ना बजेगी बांसुरी. So, do you think I should tell Colonel Sharma to put the person here? No. You just told me to tell him. Now you have withdrawn the request. So, here's what I would suggest to you. Tell him. Tell him every 5 minutes. Tell him to tell. Because he reports to Colonel Sharma. It's all in that line. It's not me. So if Ravi goes and tells him students are having... Now, I talked to Ravi about this. Principal talked to me about this. I know in my head, I'm not going to tell the top guy to do this, because the moment I tell the top guy to do this, I become responsible. I don't want any responsibility. I want results. I want results with no responsibility. My job, write the check, nothing else. Be a tourist, write the check, nothing else, right? So I asked Ravi, I said, Ravi, we used to pay for this, right? We talked about it. So I'm not going to tell Ravi to do something, just like I'm not going to tell Colonel Sharma, because again, I become responsible. I don't want to be responsible. So I told Ravi, just give me the facts. He said, yeah, we used to pay for it. And in many locations, we were paying for this. Dakshana made a policy decision that these are things that fall within the domain of Samiti. Now I agree with your point. Samiti may or may not do it.
Yes, sir.
Right? Let me go back to the beginning of when we started working with Navodaya Samiti. In 2007, when I first met them, Nabakishore Singh was the commissioner. And H.N.S. Rao was the head of academics. So what they told me is there are some things that are very easy for Dakshana, very hard for Samiti. And there are some things that are easy for Samiti, hard for Dakshana. So we are going to have a public-private partnership. Dakshana will do what is hard for the Samiti. Samiti will do what is hard for Dakshana. That was the original agreement. It makes sense. What is hard for Samiti? It is impossible for the Samiti to bring faculty, JE faculty here. Impossible. They cannot do it. Right? We stepped in to do that because they cannot do that. But at many locations, so for example, this classroom was built and paid for by Dakshana. The Samiti told me in 2007, we can handle construction. They told me this. Even though they told me we can handle construction, this was not getting built. So I said, okay, forget the committee. Colonel told me, not me. I don't tell him anything. He said, Mohnish, you build the classroom. We're going to build the class. So he came to me and said, I need this classroom built because they will not do it. And so I said, you know, this is not part of what we agreed. He said, no, I need this. So I said, okay, you're telling me you want something. I'm still going to hold you accountable for results. We built the classrooms. We refurbished the dorms. We are not supposed to do that. The original agreement was Samiti will take care of dorms, will take care of classroom, will take care of everything. Dakshana takes care of faculty, materials, books, and those sorts of things. That was the original agreement. So many locations. In Lucknow, we built classrooms. Pune, we built classrooms. Classroom building is very expensive. We did all that. So now, for whatever reason, Dakshana management decided we don't want to be involved in this, right, across many locations. I don't fully understand why. I don't fully understand why they're doing this. But I don't want to tell them what to do because I don't have all the data. They are looking at this every day. I'm not looking at this every day. So I'm just going to, at the most, ask Colonel. I'm going to say, hey, listen, they made this request and you do what you want, but the principal asked me to tell you, so I'm telling you. Your decision. That's the most I'm going to do. Now, I want to answer your question another way. So there is a person, Ashok Kumar, Talapatra Ashok Kumar, T. Ashok Kumar. Have you heard of him? What was his JE rank? Okay, so what year did he take the JE? Raise your hand.
2010.
Awesome. You know everything about Ashok's life. When he sees this video, he'll be so happy. So, when he took the JE in 2010, at that time, we had a lot of problems. He was in JNV Bangalore, right? And at that time, Navodaya did not allow the students to live in Navodaya after the 12th exam. In fact, they did not even allow the person from Hyderabad to take the 12th exam in Bangalore. What they did is, when the board exams were happening, they sent the batch back to their home JNVs. They all took the exam in the home JNVs. They never came back to Hyderabad, and then from there they had about 1 or 2 months. How much is the time gap between the exam and the... For 2 months, he has no coaching. You know, last 2 months coaching most important. He has no coaching. He's sitting in Bangalore. And then after sitting 2 months in Bangalore, he gets a rank that nobody has cracked in Dakshana in 10 years. Right? How did he do that? So Ashok told me that he's in Silicon Valley now. I meet him often. He works at Google. So he told me, when I went back to Bangalore, I thought I'll forget everything. There's so many things I've learned. 2 months, there's no coaching. I'll forget everything. Okay, so he did a few things. And he did a few things throughout his coaching. So Dakshana Scholars will tell me morning PT is useless for us. Please stop morning PT. We want to study at night. We don't want to get up in the morning. How many of you think that should happen? Raise your hand. Morning PT is bad. Does morning PT happen here? Khatam ho gaya morning PT? Yes, Colonel is so sad. So in Bangalore, in Bangalore, morning PT was happening every day. Ashok has to go for morning PT. Then when he goes for lunch, there's a long line for lunch. Is there a long line for lunch here? No line. So when he is going, long line. So you know what he did? He said, you know, I know these stupid people are telling me to go to PT every morning. No problem. He said, before the PT, the previous day, I think of a problem I cannot solve. And throughout PT, I am thinking of that problem. Okay? While I'm doing whatever they're asking me to do, I'm continuously thinking of that problem. Okay? When I'm in line for lunch, there's a problem I can't solve, I'm thinking about that problem. So he is using the time that most people will waste to keep his mind is continuously running. Then what he did in the 2 months is 60 days, he solved every year the full 6-hour paper twice. So every day for 60 days, he sat down for 6 hours and took the whole, like the 25-year-old paper, took the whole test. Then he looked at every question he didn't solve and how to solve it and what to do. Next day, next test. Next day, next test. So 30 days, he took 30 years of JEE exam. So the test he sat for, in 30 days, so there's no one coaching him. There's no resonance, there's no time, there's nobody there. He's sitting in Bangalore, right? He did this for 30 days. Then second 30 days, repeated the same things. Again, same question paper, again solve it. So guess what happened when the JEE paper showed up? It's the 61st time he is taking the JEE. He's already taken it 60 times, timed, exactly like it's timed before. So, did we tell him to do that? No, we are clueless, we are stupid. We didn't tell him to do that. So, what did Ashok do? Ashok basically took an approach where he didn't care what stupid things are going on. Sending people back to home JNV during the last 2 months is stupid, right? It's not going to happen with you. Happened with him, it didn't matter. Anything that we tried to do with him, it didn't matter. So, marta kya nahi karta? I have been to Ashok's house. Okay, in this classroom you can fit 15 of his houses. Just one small corner, that's a house. There's no bathroom, there's nothing. In a slum in Hyderabad, right? When I went to his house, they want to serve, my daughter and I, we both went, they want to serve us tea. There is no table to put the tea on. Okay, there is a small stool, probably no bigger than this much. This small stool, it has the tea, it has whatever they are giving is in that small stool. That is all the family has. 3,000 rupees a month income. Sometimes there is no income. Sometimes he says that at night, they only have steamed rice and pickle to eat. Sometimes they only have pickle to eat. They don't even have the rice. Okay? That is the reason he worked so hard, because he needed a way out of that. He needed to, many of you may be in similar circumstance, right? So the bottom line is, what I would say is that it's good to tell Dakshana what to do. We'll try to do our best. We are interested in doing our best. Now, if I was running Dakshana, I might take different decisions than the colonel. Okay? But I can tell you, I would run it more stupidly than he runs it. Okay, so for good or bad, once I have a CEO or a manager, I have to give the manager authority. If I take the authority away or undermine him or do anything like that, then it's not going to work. I have only one decision to make: who runs Dakshana, not how that person runs Dakshana. If I don't like how that person runs Dakshana, I have to change the person. I cannot make the person change. I have to replace the person. And very happy with Colonel Sharma. He cares about all of you. I can assure you of one thing. Colonel wants all of you to have maximum success. And he wants, in fact, most of the time what is happening is, he's forcing me to spend money in all kinds of areas where I'm not very interested. He keeps telling to me, no, you do this, do this, do all these things. Even though I don't, but because he's in charge, we have to agree. And so we go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is, I heard you, I heard the principal, I told her I'm going to tell Colonel, and I'm going to tell the Colonel. But I'm also going to tell him, Colonel, I was told to be a messenger. I have given the message. The rest is up to you. And he knows that. So that's how we'll do that. Next question.
So my name is Siddhant Khobragade. I am from JNV Chandrapur, Maharashtra. And my question is that, why do you select only Kottayam as coaching center in spite of its different culture and food habits and language? Okay,
very good. So are you unhappy at Kottayam?
Conversation problems.
Conversation?
Yes, freely conversation is not possible.
Conversation with whom?
Teachers, interacting with teachers.
You mean outside of English?
Yes, sir. They means we are not that much. We are not getting the topic that much of extent, which we are getting in our JNVs, in our own language.
Like, give me an example.
So, like that, if we see an video lecture of a teacher who taught in Hindi or gives example in Hindi, explains in Hindi and mixed up in English in the language, we got more from that. We got clear more from that.
Sure.
But here what is happening, that teachers are not able to speak in Hindi, that some students are not getting it properly. So that is the problem.
Okay, so that's a good point. Let me give you a counterpoint. So out of all the centers we have where we are doing our coaching, Kottayam produced the best results, right? And the quality of the students we have in all the centers is about the same. We are not putting better students here. It's very random in terms of the quality of students that end up at different JNVs. So when we see differences in performance in different JNVs, Dakshana pays attention to that. Because if the input quality is the same and the output is different, then something happened in the process, right? And I told you already in 2007, 2009, it was horrible output. We made changes and we improved it. So if we look at input to output, somehow the teachers who don't speak Hindi are doing great job, right? And so it would seem to me that if we said that we need to keep the kids who are from the Hindi-speaking belt in Hindi-speaking areas, that may or may not work. So for example, we also have coaching in Lucknow. And if you are in Lucknow, you will get teachers who will do mix of Hindi and English. Our Lucknow result is not as good as a Kottayam result. So do you want to go to Lucknow? If we ask you, look at the result this year, look at Lucknow result, look at Kottayam result, now we give you a choice. You can be here or you can be in Lucknow. What would you prefer?
Result-wise, I will prefer this.
No, forget result-wise. Let's say I'm giving you a choice, forget everything. I'll say, Deepak, we can send you to Lucknow or we can keep you here. Tell us what you want to have happen.
Sir, my topic from where it will be get cleared more, that will I prefer.
Okay, so you think that you might do better there? Yes. Okay, all right, that's great. So have a seat. It's good to know that what I would say is the following. When we find ourselves in foreign cultures, I live in a foreign culture, right? A lot of things are different. Food is different, talking is different, a lot of things are different. I talked to some alums who were at Kottayam. They went to IIT or NIIT, and they were from West Bengal and Bihar, and actually went and visited their homes. And I just asked them, I said, hey, you were for 2 years spent so far away from home to this strange place, Kottayam. What are your thoughts about it? So what they told me is, sir, that place is very organized. It's a good place. And they said, one of them said, sir, it is my dream that I settle in that place. So that person wanted to leave West Bengal and settle in Kerala because he liked what he saw here, right? So what I would say to you is that every place is going to have negatives and positives, right? In Lucknow especially, we had a lot of problems with quality of faculty. Same like I told you before, people will tell us they'll do things, they won't do it, all these things. We had resonance coaching in Lucknow. Like you told us, get the top name. We got resonance Lucknow. They were useless because they don't have strength in Lucknow. They have strength in Kota. And so we had to get rid of them. So even though we use Lucknow resonance in other locations, so now we have a company no one has heard of doing coaching in Lucknow called Gravity. No one's ever heard of Gravity, okay? But the guy who runs it is like the Rao Academy. He's very passionate about this. And it matters to him that it does well. So he tries hard. If some faculty bungles off or something happens, Gravity has some of our alums. How many alums are there in Gravity? Three. So they have taken our alums to train. And we will see the result. So my sense is that in time in Kottayam pays a lot of attention to try to make sure things go well here. They try. For whatever reason, Lucknow does not do as well with the same quality of people. So from my perspective, I think it would be stupid of Dakshana to get rid of Kottayam and increase Lucknow when the results are the other way. In fact, what we should do is we should really increase Kottayam and reduce Lucknow because of the distortion. So we will monitor. So we really want to keep kids as close to their parent JNV as possible. We don't want to move people across the country. We are forced to do that because we have limited capacity in different locations. He is from Pune, he's here. We have a program in Pune itself. What do you prefer, JNV Pune or JNV Kottayam?
If there was choice, I will prefer Kottayam because in Pune I have a lot of friends. I will spend more time with them.
Okay. Let's have a... So he has already, please have a seat, he's already abandoned Pune. He's not interested in being near his friends. Well done. And what about all your friends here? Are they distracting you? Are they good friends? Are they smart? Okay. So I hear you, but I think that at least the data seems to indicate that Kottayam does better than Lucknow. we definitely take all the UP kids and we put them in Lucknow. We try to do that. The problem is we only have 50 seats. And there are more than 50 kids coming from Hindi-speaking belt. So after the Lucknow is filled, we have to send them somewhere else. So that's what happens. So if Lucknow has more capacity, we'll put more of the kids over there. We don't want to move people across the country. We want to keep them closer. So we'll try and do that. Other questions? Yeah.
Sir, myself, Prabhat Kumar. I am from Sahanpur, UP. Sir, my question is, how do you feel after initiating Dakshana Foundation?
Okay. Well, I feel great. Isn't it fun to see all of you and seeing all the changes happening in your lives and everything else? So it's, I would say this, that it has now been more than 10 years, almost 11 years since Dakshana was first conceived. And it has added a dimension to my life where it has made my life much more interesting. It has given me a lot of purpose. I never expected Dakshana to get this far in this period of time. I thought that we would have trouble because I'm not in India. I had to hire a team. I wasn't sure we would be able to get a good team. I wasn't sure if, well, when we started Dakshana, we didn't even know there was a JNV. We didn't know there was a JNV system. When we found out there was a JNV system, we didn't know if the government will be even interested in doing anything with us. We didn't know that. So we had to work on each of these things one at a time. And many times we had a lot of difficulties. In a lot of locations, Dakshana was unwelcome. You know, where the staff and such thought that it's a burden on the school. It is a burden, so they were not interested. And also in many locations, we've had pressure to put quotas for the local kids. So, like for example, I'll visit some JNV and I'm told, listen, there are 50 kids coming here every year, 3 should be from our school. Should 3 be from the local school? No, why not? Why should we not take 3 kids from JNV Kottayam?
Because most of the students gave the exam for that Dakshina. So why did school get that opportunity in free?
Right. Okay, so that's one point of view. How many of you agree with that point of view? Raise your hand. And how many of you think that the local school should get some kids in there? Many of you have no opinion. Right? So, you know, this is a complicated subject because I think that if a school hosts us, I always feel that Dakshana should do something for the school because they're hosting us. And I also feel that if a school hosts us, I talked to the principal about this, the lady principal, I talked to her, and basically any school that hosts Dakshana, the students of that school have an advantage. And the advantage they have is they see this program every day. In all your schools, they don't know what is happening. You just go away somewhere, right? Here, every day they see what is happening. They see the program, they see the poster, they see the results. So they are able to aspire to join this program. I remember that in JNV Bangalore, there were some kids who were from JNV Bangalore. And when they were in 9th standard, they were making friends with the Dakshana Scholars because they were trying to get information. What do I have to focus on? How do I study so I can have success in Dakshana's test? Right? Those things become possible. All of you are available to the kids in 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard to help them. And in fact, one thing I would encourage you to do is help those kids because they are hosting you. So to the extent that you can be a mentor to one of the kids here, it's a very good thing. Okay, so I always feel that the locations where Dakshana runs, those kids have an advantage. I also feel that Dakshana should be a meritocracy. So we should not have quotas for this and quotas for that. We need to maximize kids going to IIT. If I just take N kids from a local Navodaya without, we have done that in the past. We've had different locations where there were just empty seats. So we said, okay, let the local kids sit, no problem. But we have not seen great results from that. And so we definitely believe that the second thing is that it's a difficult program. So if people are not really interested and excited about it, you're not going to have fun for 2 years. It's not fun doing complex physics and complex math for 2 years, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to -1/12. Who wants these headaches, right? So that's why I feel that on balance, I want a lot of Kottayam kids to come to our program. I'd be very happy if that happens. But I want them to come based on their performance. We have one girl from Kottayam who finished 12th standard. She is now in Dakshana Valley after 12th. I think she's studying medicine. So that's good. We actually have kids from the program, didn't come to this program, but they've gone to our program there. Other questions? Is this the end of the questions? Yeah, so please pass the mic.
Sir, what about our practical learning? Sir, because we are not getting applications that the topics which are being taught to us.
Right. Ravi has heard your question. Ravi, please take the mic. What is happening about their practicals?
Right now what we have seen that in vacation time, whenever you will have 2-month vacation, at that interval the lab will be free for us, completely for ourselves, and teachers will also be available. So at that time we will cover all this practical for 11th as well as class 12th.
All right. Other questions?
Sir, I want to open a smart school of free of cost. So where I can initiate it after 4 years.
After you finish IIT?
Yes, sir.
That's a very good thought. Please have a seat. So I don't know the answers to your questions, but what I would say is that if you have a dream, you have few years to think about it. I would say right now focus on getting to IIT, then focus once you're in IIT, getting good GPA and all that, but start thinking on during breaks of where you can do it. And the simplest way may be, are you from a city or village? City, which city?
Baswada.
And which state is in it?
Rajasthan.
Rajasthan, okay. So one simple thing you can do is go to the schools in your area and see if the principals will be interested in you getting involved in helping the school. And once you can identify one school where the principal says, Ritesh, we would love you to help us, then you try to figure out what you can do. And of course, initially you have limited resources, but you have a lot of things in your brains, and there are limited number of kids. So you can start to think about what can be done to make changes. And like Dakshana, you can measure. I think it's very important to measure results and outcomes. So start an endeavor. If you fail, that's really good, because you learn a lot. We failed when we started. We had a lot of problems. But from those failures, we learned. And so you go into the field, try to attack the problem, see what problems come up, see what failures come up. Then you do version 2.0. Then you do version 3.0. By the time you get to version 6.0 or 7.0, you may have solved a lot of problems. So I wish you all the best. Okay?